Britain has delivered long-range Storm Shadow cruise missiles to Ukraine ahead of expected counteroffensive, sources say. Well, that went from maybe to done in like 12 hours flat. We have tended to drop off missiles before announcing them. Both Brimson Seconds and Starstreaks were seen in use before their donation was announced. Imagine all those juicy high-value targets that Russia placed just barely outside Ukraine's previous strike range all this time that Ukraine has knowledge of. CNN. The United Kingdom has supplied Ukraine with multiple Storm Shadow cruise missiles, giving Ukrainian forces a new long-range strike capability in advance of a highly anticipated counteroffensive against Russian forces, multiple senior Western officials told CNN. The Storm Shadow is a long-range cruise missile with stealth capabilities jointly developed by the UK and France, which is typically launched from the air. With a firing range in excess of 250 km or 155 miles, it is just short of the 185-mile range capability of the US-made Surface-to-Surface Army Tactical Missile System, or ATACMS, that Ukraine has long asked for. Critically, the Storm Shadow has the range to strike deep into Russian-held territory in eastern Ukraine. A Western official told CNN that the UK has received assurances from the Ukrainian government that these missiles will be used only within Ukrainian sovereign territory and not inside Russia. UK officials have made frequent public statements identifying Crimea as Ukrainian sovereign territory, describing it as illegally annexed. The missile is a real game-changer from a range perspective, a senior US military official told CNN, and gives Kyiv a capability it has been requesting since the outset of the war. As CNN has reported, Ukraine's current maximum range on US-provided weapons is around 49 miles. There is no point in holding anything back now. Let's give Ukraine the tools to finish the job. So our best SAS Black Ops squad, who can penetrate deep into Russia and feed Putin his own testicles? I'm happy for my tax to fund this. Love how the British name their weapons. It's like the names themselves were weapons. And we've just announced we are sending long-range missiles, and Russia says they will retaliate with an appropriate response. I'm trembling in my boots at the thought of their retaliation. What are they going to do? Fart in our general direction? Whenever I want a laugh, I think about how much our support for Ukraine must irk Vladimir Putin. He can stick his nuclear threats up Dmitry Medvedev's bum. The UK is the only non-Baltic state that really seems to want Ukraine to unambiguously kick Russia's ass and win the war. I only wish they had the US wealth to better help make that happen. Remember when some people thought Putin was a genius for poisoning a couple of nobodies in Salisbury? And now a lot of British weapons are killing a lot of Russian soldiers as they slide to defeat in Ukraine. It's a funny old world. The US will probably send ATACMS down the line if they have the inventory. I mean, just like the Challenger 2 announcement, the can of worms is open and everyone should just start sending long-range missiles to really hammer it home. There are targets in Russian-occupied Ukraine that could not have been hit before. Very nice to read this. But those missiles can only mounted on certain Western planes, if I read Wiki. Did they find a solution to shoot the missiles using Russian planes? How else are they gonna use these missiles? I'm sure Britain didn't just go, "Oh, hey, by the way, we threw some storm shadows on the next 8 shipment. Reckon you can do something with these?" Ukraine will already have a plan to use this to their best potential. Thank you to everyone who supports Ukraine. Thank you for the kind words, donations, and weapons. We will do everything so that Russia no longer exists. God save the Queen and the King.